Wednesday, September 17th, and we are at the Boca Raton Airport Authority for their board meetings. So let's begin. We are going to wonder why Randy Nobles isn't here today. He is away, but I'm taking his place as vice chair. I believe he's joining us, is he not?
I am.
He's telephonically with us. Let's go ahead and start with the Civil Air Patrol. We have some special guests today. They're going to present the colors and we are going to pledge allegiance. So let's begin by standing. No.
Present. Arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America. To the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
States.
Order. Arms. Colors. Post. Oh. Right. Turn.
Thank you. Now we can be reading.
Did the final agenda. Got a file before.
And for that, we'll give you a check later. Let's start with the roll call. Mr. Nobles?
Here?
Randy, are you with us?
Yes. Yes.
He is with us, we're on time, but.
Okay, let's continue.
Ms. Bud, here, Mr. Now,
Here.
Mr. Tucker,
Here.
Mr. Fogel, Mr. Folden,
Here.
Mr. Pollock.
Here.
You'll let us know when Randy is available, and we'll just so reflect in the notes in the minutes. Let's now consider approval of the minutes of our regular meeting for August. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any agenda changes, Ms. Bennett?
There are none.
How about public requests?
There are none.
Let me just add that if any member of the public wishes to provide a comment at any time, the time to do so is now to let us know. Please complete a public comment card identifying the item on which you wish to be heard and provide it to Ms. Tavea. Public comment cards are located at the back of the room here. If each member of the public wishing to comment will be provided 5 minutes to do so. The chair reserves the right to move the public comment opportunity on any specific agenda item to the point of the agenda when that item is to be considered or to extend the allotted time per speaker. Once again, do we have any?
There are none.
None so far. Thank you. Move to the consent agenda. There are no items on the consent agenda. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do we have any federal, state, or municipal input?
Not this evening.
Now we'll move to the financial report. Mr. Brown, want to start us off, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I have reviewed the detailed reports you see in your board packet. We're at the 11th month of our fiscal year. And I've reviewed the details and information in your board packet is also a little more detail on what we'll provide here today as a summary. But the only key issues were some budget variations, which were outlined in your budget package memo, and Robert will explain them for you. Robert?
Mr. Now. Also, before you, the financial report through August 31st, 2025. You can see total operating revenues are approximately 7.7 million, and that is about 2.5% above budget year to date. Total operating expenses are about 4.4 million. That's down approximately 26.7% budget year to date, and the net income before depreciation is approximately 1.3. So with that, Airport Management and Secretary Treasurer to respectfully present the August financial report to the authority, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any discussion on what has been presented? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Now let's move to tenant reports and requests. Anna?
Thank you, Ms. Chair. Airport Management has received a request from Civil Air Patrol for a donation of $35,300 to cover the rent of their 2 hangars from October 2025 to September of 2026. This is an increase of $3,500 from last year. With me this evening is Squadron Commander Karima Holmes, who would like to say a few words.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and women of the board. We're so honored to be here and to continually be considered when it comes to contributing to the community. You have so many opportunities and so many ways you can give back what you do, but you always find room to support us. And we're so grateful. We could not be in that hangar here at the airport without your generosity. We are truly grateful. In addition to that, we enjoy the collaboration, serving our community, giving the cadets the opportunity to look beyond themselves and get ready to serve the community in a greater way and the country. And this is what we need for the future. And we're especially always thankful for the opportunity to work. Anna, for example, they collaborated with us for our food drive this year, which was a huge success. We're thankful that you're always ready to work with us to give back to the community. We thoroughly enjoyed working on the beautification of the gardens by the observation deck, which the cadets thoroughly enjoy just sitting by and watching the planes go by. So we are so thankful for each of you and your generosity yearly. Thank you. We do have a plaque we'd like to present, express our deepest gratitude for your continued support. In grateful recognition presented to Boca Raton Airport Authority in appreciation of your unwavering quality, steadfast dedication, and exceptional commitment to the Boca Raton Composite Squadron and the community, we are honored. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Jeff.
With that, Airport Management recommends approving a donation in amount of $35,300 to the Civil Air Patrol Boca Raton Composite Squadron.
Does this require a motion?
So moved.
Yes.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Check presentation. Not kids.
Everybody who wants to bid and anyone else that would like to join us, come on in, Hannah. I'll let you. Come on, you have to. Yeah.
Go in front.
There you go. Perfect. Ready? 1, 2.
We would like to thank you. You've spent some time thanking us, so let us thank you for elevating the community in general and for particularly this past year being so collaborative with us in so many ways. Whether it's ice cream socials or all the other things that either I've seen you at and Clara has told us all about, we really appreciate it. The more you are with us, the more we collaborate, the more we rise together. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, let's move to the executive director and staff reports. Presentation of the operations and noise report for the month of August. Anna, can you help us again?
Thank you, Ms. Chair. Before you use operations and noise abatement report for the month of August 2025. During the month of August, there were 5,627 operations, which is a 13% decrease from operations in August of last year. Jet A deliveries were up 32% compared to August of 2024, and avgas deliveries were down 6% compared to last year. There were 2 different households that filed noise concerns during the month of August. And during the month of August, Customs had 128 aircraft clearings, which is an increase from 96 total clearings in the month of August of 24. There were also 4 additional vessel clearings. These 128 aircraft arrived from a total of 21 different countries. And there were 19 after-hours clearings in the month, of which 4 occurred on days when the facility is normally closed. And that concludes the Operations and Noise Abatement Report for the month of August. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
On the noise, we only had 3 complaints, that seems low. Can you explain that?
That's a great question. We're not entirely sure. Our primary noise caller stopped calling. And I think for the most part, a lot of it has to do with the weather. It's been a little rainy, so the windows have been closed. There also haven't been as many flights. A lot of those touch and goes have decreased because of the weather as well. So that has probably played a role in.
That goes back to the numbers 10 or 12 years ago when we had the noise advisory committee go.
Right.
We're down to 2, 3, 4, real complaints, not the people hitting the button. Those were the days before the buttons.
And some people may still be up for
Well,
Snow season, we do anticipate that as the weather cools and the windows are open, and it's also coincides with busy season and TFRs that
right.
we're preparing for it.
Yeah, we're still great.
It is, yes. It's nice to see those low numbers. Sometimes numbers are good when they're high, but these are good when they're low. Thank you. Anything else for Hannah? At the moment? All right, let's move on to the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship Fund annual contributions. Mr. Abbott.
Thank you. So as you know, this is the time of year when we will, the board will distribute the contribution that we have budgeted for the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship. So as always, we have Tim Snow here, and he's going to come up and provide us with an update on our fund and some of the scholars. So, Snow.
Tim, even though we all know you, please share with us who you are, what you do.
Sure. My name is Tim Snow. I'm president of an organization called the George Snow Scholarship Fund. We're based right here in Boca Raton, and we provide scholarships to young people continuing their education beyond the high school level. This year, we were very fortunate through our generous community to award a little over $5.5 million in scholarships to about 374 young people, I believe. What we're really known for throughout the country really is not just providing the scholarship, the financial part of it, but our support services that we give to each scholar. So the computers, the care packages we send them, the emergency funding, all of those things make a big difference and result in a very high graduation rate that we have. Particularly if you look at the demographic that we're serving. Understand that some of you got that your 3 of your scholars from this year, I think, were at your last month meeting, and I got good feedback that they were pretty impressive young people, and we always like to hear that. And so what I'd like to do is just give you a little bit of an update as to kind of bring you up to speed on what, as partners, what we've been doing for many years now. And we award really two scholarships, one Boca Raton Airport Authority Scholarship, and then also you all have an endowment with us, the Ken A. Day endowment, which was formed some years ago. And so we fund these scholarships for students going into the aviation related fields. And we have a great demand for that. That's we always, I think with almost all of our scholarships, see more of a demand than we're able to satisfy, but we're grateful to be able to award those two scholarships through your contributions. In total, since our partnerships began, you all have helped 23 students go to college. And I'm really proud to say that I just talked about graduation rates. You all have a 100% graduation rate, which is very, very impressive. And so these young people that we're helping are very committed to their career path. And we see that we've not had anybody really deviate from their desire to go into the aviation related fields. We currently have 12 scholarships. I'm sorry, 12 graduates. And they're all working or working towards an aviation related career. We currently have 11 students that are enrolled in school right now. So freshman through senior at 7 different universities. So University of Florida, University of Central Florida, FIU, Broward College, Embry-Riddle, Florida State, and Rensselaer Polytech Institute. Their average GPA is 3.39. Which is pretty impressive, particularly with a lot of these students being engineering students. And you all have awarded a little over $183,000 worth of scholarships, which does not include all those support services that I was talking about. So the computers, and the emergency funding and all the other things that we do for our scholars. In addition to that, we've been able to really leverage, and we've talked about this just about every time we're here, but we leverage at least one of those scholarships every year by purchasing through our partnership with the state of Florida, a Florida prepaid program. So I'm able to buy 4 years of college tuition at about a third of the market value of that, of 4 years of tuition, which is, depending on what school they're going to go to, anywhere from $24,000 to $26,000. And I can purchase that for a little over $8,000. So we take a portion of your money, and then that student gets 4 years guaranteed tuition paid in full, as well as additional funding that we allocate to them. I tell you that most of them, they're studying everything from aerospace engineering to aeronautics. Most of them are studying the aerospace engineering. We find that most of them have chosen that path. And we've got I just wanted to point out a couple of what I think are pretty cool facts, and these are related to your alumni. We've got one of your scholars who's working for a company called Relativity Space, and he's a launch fluids engineer. A lot of these people are doing things I have no idea what that really means. It certainly sounds impressive to me. One of your scholars is working for Blue Origin, which many of us are familiar with, as a propulsion design engineer, working on the BE-4 rocket engine. We've got an operations satellite engineer that's supporting the NASA's SWIFT mission. Got an airline pilot, a Navy fighter jet pilot, and a young man who just sent us a picture. And he's now a flight instructor in a program that's going to be, I'll leave this with you guys. You can pass it around. It's just really cool to see, you know, a young person like this who's been able to pursue their educational career goals, and you guys have made that possible for this young man and those 23 other young people that we're talking about. So again, we are very grateful to all of you for our partnership. This is having a meaningful impact, not only on young men and women like this young man, but their families. And really, you're affecting change for generations to come through this investment in these deserving young people in our community. So that pretty much wraps my report up. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, first of all, thank you, Tim. Just to clarify, you said we have 11 students currently in flight that we have funded and who are in school right now between freshman and senior.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Any other questions for Tim?
Surprised we don't have any questions about Mitch's dance routine.
He's not telling us anything, so we don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, well, no, let me tell you something. You're going to be really impressed. I saw his routine about literally a month ago, and he looked so good that he could have danced that night in front of 800 people, 900 people that we're going to have this Saturday night. So those of you who are attending, I think you're in for a real treat.
Great.
All right.
Did you need a motion? A motion
So
to
moved.
present
Second.
and second. Any further discussion? Great, then let's go ahead with the presentation. We have the check. The check coming in?
Check.
Check.
Big checks.
Anyone else want to join me in that? Thanks, Tim.
Speaker, Madam Chair, I believe you had a motion and a second, but I don't believe you called the vote.
Okay, well, let's do that then. Anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, it's official, Tim, you read.
Good, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
It's Saturday.
Let's move on to the sustainability management plan. Hannah, is that you again? And are we going to have Lisa Resner on video?
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. Yes, Lisa is joining us telephonically, and she'll be available to answer any questions that you may have. So before you is a presentation of the Sustainability Management Plan. We are finally here at the end, and we're so excited to share it with you. So just a reminder that SMP is a comprehensive tool, which does not just incorporate environmental factors, but it also includes a roadmap to ensure current and future social, financial, and operational viability. So today we'll be reviewing the project background, stakeholder engagement, components, project outcomes, deliverables, and next steps. So this plan builds off current sustainability initiatives, which include LED conversion projects, drought-tolerant landscaping, community engagement initiatives, just to name a few. The SMP is a comprehensive tool which does not only incorporate environmental efforts, it also includes a roadmap to ensure current and future social, financial, and operational viability, as previously mentioned. There are 4 key pillars defining the SMP. These include economic viability, operational efficiency, natural resource conservation, and social responsibility. Essentially, the purpose of the SMP is to ensure responsible growth and operational excellence now as well as into the future. So the SMP development process was a collaborative initiative, which included participation from you, the board members, as well as airport management and members of our sustainability advisory partners. Those sustainability advisory partners represented a diverse cross-section of our stakeholder community. Members included airport tenants, local nonprofits, educational institutions, City of Boca Raton, utility providers, and of course, residents and more. The SMP process, if you recall, began on July 9th of 2024, where we introduced this project to you and heard your initial feedback and project direction guidance. Throughout this project, we met with the board twice and also met with our sustainability advisory partners twice to gather responses and feedback. Each workshop opened the conversation where stakeholders had the ability to provide insights on 5 categories. Those categories include focus areas, baseline performances, directional goals, targeted initiatives, and policy statement. So this project has provided us with the sustainability management plan, a 36-page brochure, which is in front of you today. We have a slide deck, a technical report, and some implementation tools. The policy statement aims to complement the policy statement from our strategic business plan, while also prioritizing responsibly managing natural resources, maintaining economic viability in airport operations, and continuing to build long-term trust with our community. There are 6 key focus areas highlighted in the sustainability management plan. Those include energy management, water conservation, stakeholder engagement, climate and resilience, waste and recycling, and of course, our favorite, the BOCO experience. An example of how we tracked baseline metrics can be seen with this water conservation example. So in this example, the water usage baseline was from 2023 and reflected approximately 4.6 million gallons of consumption. Of this 4.6 million gallons, 1% was used as potable water, 16% was used as potable irrigation, and 86% was used for reclaimed irrigation. The data management tool, which it will be used to track purchased potable and reclaimed water that can be used for future water conservation projects. And just a reminder to you, all the data that we collected during the SMP, it was collected from airport managed facilities. So that includes this building, the customs building, and the air traffic control tower. This was because we did not get comprehensive data from all of our tenants across all the data points. So we figured, if we have comprehensive data for us, we'll just use that as a baseline. That doesn't mean that this project will stop there. Moving forward, this project will begin to collect the tenant data and will incorporate it into this living document. So under stakeholder engagement, we plan to encourage stakeholder engagement by assigning sustainability champion who will oversee sustainability initiatives, attend trainings, and engage with the community. Tenants will also have the opportunity to participate in sustainability-themed events, meetings, and initiatives. And we'll continue to maintain mission-driven community service focused through participation in events with local organizations that result in demonstrable social impact and a deeper community connection. We'll also provide educational opportunities for the community, social and local partnerships. In our case, this includes scholarship contributions, educational tours, school visits, and attending various student and community events such as career fairs. We also want to incorporate sustainability evaluation criteria in any future procurements. So within the 6 SMP focus areas, there are 23 individual initiatives, which include long-term and short-term goals. Some of these initiatives, there's a lot, include working with FPL to schedule periodic energy audits, so those are recommended to be completed about every 3 years. Developing and adopting vehicle idling reduction policy. And one of our long-term goals includes exploring and designing a centralized site for tenant disposal of fuel oil and tires, organizing periodic hazardous waste drop-off days in coordination with the Solid Waste Authority. So to ensure a continual evolution of the SMP, we have designed a roadmap which will be used with frequency to realign the SMP as needed in the future, because again, it is a living document. A large component of the SMP are the data management tools. So this is an example of our initiative implementation tool, which is Excel-based and is used for planning and tracking. It's a user-friendly tool, which can be used to track initiatives and goals, assign related frequencies, and provide initiative tracking. This project has also included easy references for each focus area and allows for a simplified roadmap into implementation expectations and benchmarks. The SMP data management tool also lives on Excel and is a living document which provides a single location for data-related sustainability initiatives, including waste, water usage, electricity metrics, and more. So the next steps with the project at completion, we're going to begin planning out initiative implementation and look forward to conducting our first independent round of data collection, which will begin spring of 2026. And with this, I conclude the presentation of the Sustainability Management Plan. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Very thorough, thank you. Any questions, Dean?
A comment, to assist in furthering our sustainability, particularly in the area of waste and recycling. Each month we get an agenda package. I enjoy the hard package as well as the online. I know some of you only use the online, but I think one thing that we can help in this is to eliminate those items in our package which consume on good portion of it, things like our contracts, agreements, leases, and pleadings, all those things after the amendment. We really, I doubt that most of you don't read. You could read them online if you want to, but I think it is a lot of wasted paper in the packages.
One of the initiatives that we included in the budget this year that begins October 1 is to go fully electronic on our agenda packet, so that board members will have the opportunity to opt into the paper documents, but they will be fully electronic, so everyone will have an iPad and be able to follow the agenda along on the iPad.
Well, that's very generous. I hope they all have iPads now.
Some of us do personal, but this would be one that allows us to secure our network as well, because we have had some concerns about data security and network security, which is why we want to be able to provide the technology that everyone would use, so that it's secure within our network.
No, iPads are not created equal. So having an equal playing field would certainly be valuable. And when are you expecting that?
We're working on that right now. The budget year begins October 1, but I know Scott's already doing the research on the iPad and the whatever special software we may need, and all of the hardening of the technology and all that. So we hope to have it rolled out before the next board meeting, but it may not, depending on how quickly the iPads can be delivered.
Just a couple of observations on this topic, if I may. First of all, this is a very attractive brochure. Are we putting a version online as well? And we've got some distribution planned for it, I hope.
We will be, yes.
Okay. Also, on a project like this, it's huge and it's got a lot of information. But from the PR and marketing perspective, there's a lot to be gained here. When you look at some of these initiatives, now that we have a baseline, a year from now, we will have some measurable results. These are the types of things that we would like to see. Remember, we talked last meeting and the meeting before to have our marketing initiatives focused on this. Real hard data and real results. So this is a great thing that we're doing, and we want to get this word out as well. Do we need to have a motion to accept this plan at all? I don't see it here, so, no.
I will.
Please.
So we'll get an annual report on these initiatives, finding focus areas. Is that the plan?
Right there.
But I would think that would be important, just to follow along. I don't know that we need it quarterly unless somebody else thinks about it, but I think annually.
But maybe a dash, or something, so that when we do report it, whether it's annually or whatever we agree on, we're able to look and we can clearly see the powerful numbers and changes that we have made. Great. All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to our next item, which is a request to approve the public transportation grant agreement for financial project number 457-130-1-94-01 with the State of Florida Department of Transportation for strategic business plan update. Thank you. Overtone Airville.
Thank you, Ms. Bud. The Florida Department of Transportation has offered a public transportation grant agreement to update a strategic business plan. The budget for this project is $60,000 and the PTJ is for 80% or $48,000 with the authority share of 20% of or $12,000. The authority share will be included in the fiscal year 26 budget. Airport management recommends the approval of resolution number 092425, authorizing a public transportation grant agreement with the state of Florida Department of Transportation for the strategic business plan amendment.
We have a motion?
So,
Second?
second.
Any questions, any discussion before we take a vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Unanimously, thank you. Go to our accounting policy and procedure manuals, revisions, Rob.
Thank you. Also in your packet is a proposed amendment to the accounting and policy and procedurals manual. These changes were reviewed both by our secretary treasurer and our internal auditor as well. So the vast majority of the changes that you see in there are going to be title changes and some little updates. So that's why on the red line, you'll see a lot of red, but the vast majority of it is just changing titles to kind of keep up with the more current titles that we have today. There are a couple of smaller procedural updates in there to reflect some more updated best practices. These are for items such as fraud prevention, some policies that we can put in place to help with that, and some digital filing as we kind of move away from some paper documents more into some of the digital world. We kind of updated some of the language in there as well. There's also a proposed increase for the capitalization threshold from 5,000 to 10,000. And then lastly, we have a proposed change to the authorities reserve policy in there as well. So on that, Airport Management Secretary Treasurer recommend approval of resolution number 092625, adopting an amended accounting policy and procedures manual, and I'd be happy to answer the questions you have.
Please. Move. Give a second, please.
Second.
Any discussion? I have a question. Tell me how you go about this process. So you have a manual in existence and you say, all right, it's time to update. We haven't updated in a while. And you just do blue sky research, or you know exactly where you're going to pinpoint your changes, the models that you compare against. What is the process?
Yeah, so for what kind of drove it initially was a lot of the title changes. You know, we were like, titles were very different at this time. So we wanted to update that. And then we were kind of looking at, as you know, you're researching at some of the policies in there. And like I said, we're trying to get away from some paper documents and getting more digitalized. So this was a time to update that. So you kind of look into some best practices on how to handle that kind of situation. I utilize a lot of like GFOA, which is Government Financial Officers Association. They put out a lot of best practices on these, especially with the reserve policy. I really kind of dug into how they recommend kind of setting that up for you. And ours was a little different on that. So, you know, we kind of were looking through that as well, trying to make sure. Yeah, so we use that to kind of guide us in the direction that we think we go. And then we run it by our internal auditor and the secretary treasurer just to verify that everybody's on the same page.
And yes, I did have a chance to review this and I'm supportive of it and gives a little more flexibility on the reserve policy and And a little easier for them to transact business at the $10,000 level without getting a board approval. But one area I thought of, Robert, in the last couple of days since we talked, is on page 124 of our agenda package. It's about the minimum reserve and talking about that paragraph there. If the minimum reserve is not kept during the forecast period, the executive director will develop a plan to bring the reserve to the desired amount. So again, in the unlikely time we might go under the reserve, I was just thinking it might be good to put as soon as practical or some language like that. So that the board knows and people looking at this know that if we dip under the reserve, we're not just gonna say, oh, that's okay, we're under the reserve. You know, worry about it sometime in the future. I'd like to see it a little tighter. And so, again, I thought about this a couple of days ago and kind of springing on it, but if you feel that would be good, or with the board, pleasure of the
I think
board.
clarity is good, and the converse would be true as well. You wouldn't want it to read as if we couldn't do anything
Right.
until a plan was put forward.
Yes, sir. We actually do have it stated as soon as practical in under section C, where it says replenishment of reserves.
Okay.
There in the red line, it says the authority uses its reserves. Those reserves are below the allowed minimum. Then the executive director will propose a plan for the replacement of the reserves as soon as practical. And it goes on.
So now I added the number, section 9 as well.
Okay, yeah, so we can add it to that section as well.
Yeah.
Keep it consistent.
124, the 20, that's 28 in the policy. I see it now.
In the paragraph now that begins, if the minimum reserve is not kept,
Yeah, that one right there.
they will bring the reserve to the desired amount as soon as.
Yeah, so use the same language.
Yeah, we'll bring that up as well to cover.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay, in that case, why don't we vote then that we make
As amended.
as amended?
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve as amended.
Yes.
Did I make the original motion? I've already lost track.
Make the motion as amended. We need a second for that,
Second.
and now let's vote on that. All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to item F, emergency procurement for runway 5 in UMass. One of our favorite things. Travis.
Madam Chair, as board is aware, on September 3rd, we had an aircraft overrun the departure in runway 5 and end up in the engineered materials arresting system. So we've been working with Runway Safe, the sole FAA approved manufacturer of the system, to negotiate the contract and for the manufacture, storage, and delivery of the product in the soonest timely fashion we can. The estimate has been received and contractual terms are currently being negotiated between legal counsel and Runway Safe. And I believe we have a couple of, before we further on, I can show a couple areas where this is what it looked like prior to the aircraft impacting. That's photos from one of our inspections. Previous to this is the night of. The aircraft went in approximately 50 to 60 feet, which is about 1/3 of the bed.
Yeah.
Just showing some of the equipment used to remove it once given the green light, and that's how it looked once the aircraft was removed that night. And since then, staff is at the recommendation of the manufacturer to avoid debris being blown into traffic potentially. If someone's departing runway 23, the manufacturer recommended we remove some of the most damaged areas and leave as much possible out there to not further damage anything. So any of the additional debris has been cleaned up and that is its current state. And we, like I said, we're working with the manufacturer on that. I believe if there's a video embedded on the next.
I have to break it up.
Okay.
Just for the record, the airplane is open, the airport is open and functional normally.
Correct. And
We have a
there's,
note amount on this?
yeah, there's a note that it's non-standard. There's still a significant amount of functionality of the system, so we
I know.
certain blocks that needed to be removed, but immediately, but
Well, you get it on the record.
it's non-standard.
That's one of the views showing the aircraft and at rush hour as well.
Reverse transfer. Is there an estimate on the speed? That it was.
The FAA will
Okay.
determine all of that, if we've
So
done,
that'll come out.
we have radar tracks and everything else.
Fire.
Does everyone have in front of them the revised memo and the revised reso?
It's in the folder.
It's in the folder.
And we have the second view here that shows, gives us kind of a perspective on the speed when they enter the system.
It really absorbs the energy quickly, or doesn't use stops. The airplane perfect.
And as you may have seen, there's a lot of media attention on it, all very positive. Our subject matter expert has been interviewed twice, including today, so you'll see some more media coverage of one of the local stations. If we stop this afternoon.
International.
It did, yes, indeed, yes.
It is not, it's all over the internet. It's a thing.
The FAA requested some of the video and approved their release to promote the safety of the system at all the airports nationwide. There was also a second arrestment in Chicago area that same day, earlier than ours. So it was 2 in one day. But with that being said, Airport Management recommends the approval of Resolution 092625, approving a contract with Runway Safe Incorporated in the amount of $508,993 for the materials acquisition for the UMass bed.
Yes, second? Mr. Bo,
Question,
please.
thank you. What's the time for delivery and delivery method, and where are they being manufactured?
At their manufacturing facility, the time is still being worked out with Runway Safe as far as what their current manufacturing batch is. If we can slide in possibly a little bit earlier than someone that doesn't immediately need them. So we're working with them as of right now, indicated several months. But we're trying to see if they can possibly be a little quicker than that. They will be shipped down in shipping containers and stored here on site until such time as they can be installed.
Where is their production facility?
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey, okay.
How often is EMAS actually actualized? I think I was talking to
Rarely.
Ms. Bennett, and it was an amazingly low number.
There are a total of 122 runway ends with EMOSs, and this is the 25th arrestment. The 24th happened earlier in the afternoon, as Travis mentioned, so we're number 25.
In a year or since it's
Total,
ever been
ever.
put
Since the
in?
system's been approved.
Wow.
But it works when you need it. Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, of those 24 or 5 times, it has worked 100% of the time?
Yes, every single aircraft, according to the manufacturer, has been able to fly away. Eventually, they've been able to fly, and there have been minimal to no injuries in each case. So certainly that was the case in our incident.
As Scott said in one of his wonderful quotes, money well spent.
And that's one of the reasons the FAA was so keen on us participating with them in the video, because it shows the partnership between the federal agency, the airport authority, and the FDOT, and putting that project together. And how vital it is for saving life and property. It could have been a very different outcome.
So in a
That-
less than perfect world, if EMAS had not been there, we saw what was happening. right?
With the kinetic energy that airframe had, it would have gone right through that fence into the traffic jam. That would have been a disaster. Yeah. Good job, guys. Amazing. Were the pilots drug tested?
I believe they were immediately. Yeah, their director of operations was on site within a few minutes.
We're ready for voting.
Just a question, I don't know if it's appropriate now or maybe it's later, but we're just talking about the materials of $500,000. Now, what about the installation and the timing of that? Is that going to be a separate subject next month, or
Yes.
should we talk about that now?
Once we have a better timeline on the delivery of the block, then we will, in advance of that.
Yeah.
Do a separate procurement for the installation.
We ready for a vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed
And In
unanimously.
addition to that, for the upcoming procurement for that, Airport Management recommends approval of Resolution 093025, approving an amendment to the fiscal year 26 operating budget totaling $1.2 million to include the manufacture, storage, and shipping and installation. costs.
Motion,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Now we're moving to the license agreement. Travis, that's you again.
Madam Chair,
First Technologies.
Airport Management negotiated a license agreement with L3 Harris Technologies to continue operations of the automatic dependent surveillance broadcast ADSB equipment here. It's anyone driving down Airport Road in front of Atlantic Aviation's the tall orange and white tower with the antennas on top that is receives all the traffic reports from the in and out of the aircraft in the area, and reports that not only to the FAA and air traffic control, but also to other aircraft in the area. That current site and agreement was initially entered into in 2008 and was set to expire in October of this year. In its current location, we have negotiated with L3 Harris to pay a rate going forward of $1,000 a month until such time as plans and approval can be made to relocate the equipment to the tower location to try to free up that area for potential leasable uses in the future. We've also are aware of a project adjacent to that that's also underground at the stormwater containment area immediately adjacent to the antenna. So this would further make that area a lot more attractive to potential future lease uses.
Great.
So legal counsel has reviewed the new license agreement, provided input, and management recommends approval of resolution 092725, executing the attached license agreement with L3 Harris.
Yes, sir. Let's go motion first.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Question.
L3 is paying the authority $1,000 a month. Once we move the facility to the tower, do they still pay that?
Negative. The carrot on the stick, if you will, would be to, if they agree to fund the relocation of all the equipment and the demolition of the current site, the lease rate would go to zero. They are currently not paying us any lease at their current site either. So that is to facilitate them to move. That would be in lieu of fees.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir, Ms. Foley.
Are they proposing?
No, I'm just mentioning to the chair that you had a comment, no question.
Yeah.
Please, Mr.
Hi, Chief. Are they proposing to move the tower?
No, we've met with their engineering team several times on site, and we have another one scheduled for the near future to visit the tower, the air traffic control tower, and either potentially use the existing AWAS tower that's bolted to the top of the tower currently, because you're aware we're moving all that equipment, but leaving the tower up for future use. If that's not stout enough, of erecting something similar but possibly a little beefier, and putting all the antenna array up on top of the current air traffic control tower, and then some of the communications equipment down below.
Have they done an air wind study load on that?
They're currently looking at that. That's why they're seeing if that meets load requirements. It's probably going to need something a little bit beefier. They've already completed a interference study with the frequencies, and they concluded it should not interfere with any radio frequencies currently in use at the tower. They're on different bands.
Any other questions? Ready for a vote? Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving to the portable generator connections project. Travis.
Thank you again, ma'am. If the board remembers, the August meeting, contract was awarded to All Florida Contracting Incorporated for the installation of portable generator connections at all four of BRAA facilities. Since that time, we've identified with the help of a consulting team some additional electrical needs that would be eligible for an open grant that expires at the end of the year. So to take advantage of some of the grant funding that is going to expire, we'd like to incorporate a change order as a not to exceed $25,000 to repair and enhance some of the current items such as obstruction lighting and several other items that we've identified since then that this company is well within their realm to repair. So with that, Airport Management recommends the approval of resolution number 092825, awarding change order number 1 to All Florida Contracting in the amount of not to exceed at $25,000.
Motion to approve. Any more questions for Travis? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we're moving to sign standards update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The authority may recall it last amended science standards back in 2016. That was a pretty wholesale renovation of the standards to reflect more of the city standards and the different procedures outlined in the MOU between the city and the airport authority. One of the things that was not included were provisions for construction signage. The only temporary signs allowed by our code are real estate signs and special event signs. We ran into an issue with Atlantic Aviation. As you know, they're going through a massive renovation. As part of that, they moved their FBO operation out of the main building and into a neighboring hangar. As a result, no one can find them. This causes traffic issues and obviously some safety concerns on the site. So we are adding a provision for construction signage. It mirrors a similar provision in the city's code, limiting the signage to 16 square feet. And this can be approved according to the city's code, either administratively or by permit. So we're proposing that it can be approved administratively by the executive director in our code. So airport management recommends approval of resolution 092925, approving an update to the airport authority science standards.
Motion to approve.
Motion.
And second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Moving on, do we have any special board member requests or reports, or any topics that you would like to discuss before we close? Do we have any public comment? There are. Any other business, Mr. Claire? Nothing. No, ma'am. In that case, we are adjourned until October 22nd at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. So. Hello, Scott. Yeah, good. Good.